Yo, welcome. You're very, very welcome to another pre-match carnage, which means there's another game on the horizon. Happy Halloween, people! If you wanted see a real horror movie, you should have been at Anfield on Saturday. That would have been your Halloween. Absolutely complete. Uncle Sharma's in the building. Mo,
Yeah.
Mo. Why didn't we ask Uncle Sharma to come on? Let's see if
I'm not sure if he's available, but
ask him if he's available, if he's got his number, and if he wants to
I
speak
got his
things
number.
Napoli.
He's an Inter as well, but he can speak Napoli very, very well. I can send him the
See,
link if
see
he's
if
available.
see if he's about, and we can get some more expertise. Because me and Mick, we'll just waffle on. Otherwise, me and Mick, we'll make it up. Get the likes up, people. Early gang, smash up the likes. Let's go. Yeah, Pixel Epic, happy Halloween. Oh, thank God we've already qualified. And then he does the laughing emoji. Thank God for that. Smash the like button. People, you're all very welcome. Pre-match carnage means there's another pre-match preview. Pre-match preview, or just a preview actually. Means another preview, which means Liverpool are playing again. No rest for the wicked, Mick. No time to moan and groan and feel sorry for ourselves. We play on Saturday, a disastrous couple of games in the Premier League for us. I think it's fair to say a welcome distraction. I wasn't sure a couple of weeks ago. We were discussing it. Is it a welcome distraction? I'm convinced that it's a welcome distraction now.
Yeah, I think we've got to look at it like that. Especially like you said, the whole Leeds situation was just one of those that if the Forest game weren't a slap in the face to Leeds, was a dagger to the heart. It was just really that really hit home that we are just not in a good space at the moment. But like you said, Champions League can provide a welcome, like you said, good distraction, and we can focus on something different. We've done well in the competition so far. Napoli have kind of just blew everyone away, and we'll hopefully see a good game tomorrow. But it's going to be a difficult one.
It's absolutely going to be a difficult one because we're coming off playing the two bottom teams in Europe, two bottom teams in Premier League. But in a weird way, in a funny, weird way, we're having one of those seasons where we seem to play better when our backs are up against the wall. And that's always the thing with us. It seems like we just love being the underdogs. And tomorrow, and we're going to get onto Mo's opinion on how we think Napoli are going to address this, whatever. But regardless of whatever team they pick out, I'd still say we're underdogs tomorrow, Mick, currently.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like you said, it's weird, but that kind of suits our style. This year, the City game was a good example of that, where we picked ourselves up because we knew we had to match the level, and we couldn't allow the energy to be depleted in the other games like it has been. And it was ultimately a bit of a false dawn, beating City, beating West Ham. We thought this is the start of a run. Very, very much a false dawn. But like you said, I think coming up against a really good Napoli side, we have to raise the levels. We have to, otherwise they're gonna batter us. They battered us at their place. So that we need to those levels need to be raised tenfold.
You know what, Mick? It's all about Jurgen Klopp has to get his inner one game coaching that made you reach 3 Champions League finals.
Exactly.
He has to scrape that system that he's so persistent on playing and just coach this game as a one game Champions League knockout game. The problem is you'll have to score more than 3. You have to win with more than a 3-goal margin to come top of the group, which is, I don't think it's going to happen. I'm going to talk about Napoli later. But if Jurgen Klopp does what he did against City, like, get away from all the pride. Get away from all the ego about, like, I'm Liverpool, I'm playing at Anfield, I have to stick to what I know and I have to play this way to entertain the fans. You might have a chance of actually coming back and scoring the goals and doing what you did best in the Champions League, which is reaching finals. Maybe not winning all of them, but it's all about coaching one game. And he needs to understand that his squad is not suited to play the same way every week now, especially against a team like Napoli. And Grizz, me and you talked about Napoli many times. This is a team coming from a 13-game winning streak, guys. I'm not talking non-losing. 13 games winning streak. No matter who they face, they play the same way and they blow teams away. So Jurgen Klopp has to understand that, yes, you're an Anfield, but you might need to coach this game a little bit different.
I wanna ask you something, Mo, and I agree with pretty much what you're saying, but I want to know what you think Klopp's thinking is behind the current formation, because I don't disagree. I actually disagree with you in terms of his stubbornness about the way he wants to play, because as a Liverpool fan, and I don't know if Mick agrees, but we're not sure that we're stuck on a way of playing right now. We're taking it almost game by game, almost whoever's available, and then pick a formation around that availability. There was a fixed way of playing for 4-3-3 for years, and people used to pick the bones out of it. Oh, it's this, oh, it's that, but we were literally unbeatable for 2 years. Literally unbeatable for 2 years. So we may have weaknesses, but you couldn't do fuck all about it. Now, of course, that team, that set of players is aged. We've slowed down, we've regressed. We can't play to the levels and energy. And so therefore, the Liverpool fan base was screaming for a different way of playing. I believe if we didn't have the injuries to the forward line that we had, we would have played a slightly more different formation to this. But now we've come along this 4-2-4. Mo, only the last 2 games we've started playing the diamond. Before that, we were playing 4-4-2 or 4-2-4. Now we're playing the last 2 games 4-4-2, but a diamond in midfield. It doesn't suit us right now. It doesn't suit us. But I don't think you can say it's a set way of playing. So I don't know what we're going to play tomorrow, bro.
It's not only about the on paper 4-2-4, 4-3-3. I think Pep said it best. Pep said you can put all the formation that you want on the board before, but then you get on the pitch. Are you pressing high? Is your most creative players the fullbacks? Are you relying on this and that? Are you playing high line? And I think that Jurgen Klopp, every time he's trying some against Ajax, you didn't have the most. It's a 50-50 game ball position, but you killed them. I thought you started slow, but then you built up to the game and then you killed Ajax. The problem against Leeds, you played high line. You went 1-on-1 defensively. The coverage was not there. So, in my opinion, Grizz, it's not only about 4-4-2, diamond and not diamond. It's like, are we running enough? Are we covering the fullbacks? Are we doubling on the players we need to double on? Is Gomez shifting right? Is Gomez staying? Is Van Dijk 1-on-1 all the time? For tomorrow, I think Jurgen Klopp is actually going to listen to what Spalletti is going to say in the press conference, which he said they are not going to go full force. Both teams, I don't think they're going to go full force. I don't believe, and I want to ask Mick this as well. Do you believe that Jurgen Klopp believes that he can get over 3-goal deficit, or he's going to think about, you guys have Spurs this weekend? Do you think that he should focus on the Napoli game, or he should rest someplace, especially because your fitness is not the greatest at the moment? The players are not fit. Does he risk the team playing full force against Napoli?
This is the billion-dollar question I was going to ask Mick anyway, and I was going to ask both of you for both perspectives. So you're going to come with the Napoli perspective. Mick, let's hear it from the Liverpool side. I made my feelings very clear yesterday. I done a poll, but while you give your opinion, let me bring the poll up. Sorry, go for it.
Yeah, I think I agree with Mo to an extent. I just think there's a big enough gap between the games. I think we play on the Sunday, isn't it? So there's a 5-day gap. So I think if it was Saturday, I might be like, we might think about resting, because I don't think he's going to be thinking about trying to beat Napoli 4-0. Not because it's impossible, which like 99% is impossible, but I think he just wants to. I don't think Klopp can ever put out a team and just go, well, let's try and win this 1-0 or let's take a draw. You always set the team up to win, and that's the way you want your manager, and that's the way you want your team set up. I just feel like at the moment, I agree with Grizz, like we haven't got a set formation or a set style. We're kind of having to chop and change with what's available. Like I think Klopp said today that Khanage back, which is a massive boost for us in terms of playing that high line, because he's so quick, and he's a threat from the set pieces as well, which we seem to score a lot from this year. We've scored a lot of goals from set pieces, which is which is a good thing, I suppose. But I think we've been relying on them a little bit too much as well in certain aspects of the game. But yeah, I think there's enough of a gap for us to go full strength again. I think we need to. I've seen people in the comments saying just put the youngsters out, but I don't think that sends the right message in terms of what we're trying to do. We've just came off the back of getting beat by Forest and Leeds. We need to try and get a bit of pride back, a bit of winning mentality. And I think, like I said before, with the false dawns with Man City and West Ham, I just feel like we're going to have to take it game by game as much as that's been like the Klopp way for years. Like even when we've been battering, and like you said before, Grizz, when we were battering teams and we were unbeatable and we were like, even if we went 1-0 down, we'd always win 2-1. And Klopp always said, and the players always said, let's take it one game at a time. And I think that's kind of what we need to do now in like a more tactical and pragmatic way, that we need to just go, right, let's see who we've got. We'll put out the team that might win. But we're just gonna have to see what happens. And I think it all feeds into the Darwin Núñez stuff, like the Darwin Núñez chaos that we either love or hate. I think we've kind of became like a bit more unpredictable in terms of what we're trying to do. And I agree, like the diamond formation's a bit of a mad one, especially when the personnel we've got available for it, I don't think really quite suits it in terms of Fabinho just being, I don't know what Fabinho is at the moment. It's just a bit mental. And that's the thing, there's a lot of question marks over a lot of players. And I think if all those players were in top form, we'd be sound with any formation and any approach. But when you've got a lot of players that are just not there, then that's when the red flags start coming up, unfortunately.
That's absolutely key. You're spot on. When players are in form, fit and healthy, you can pretty much guarantee formations aren't the topic of the conversation. But as soon as you get a combination of players not in form, or you're very easy to play against, then obviously everything is scrutinized. And one of the main things is selection and formation. I done a poll this morning just to get sort of a gauge of Twitter, and
can you zoom in a little bit more so we can see that? Can you zoom?
Well, I'm gonna actually try to get some of the comments of the thing. So Napoli at home, I said go strong as possible, half and half, or play sparing in them, guys. We've had over 2,000 votes already, which is quite some going, and it seems to be majority are saying play the kids. Some of the comments. So first someone says we need to get away from habit of losing games. The most worrying thing versus Leeds was lack of reaction from the Forest shambles. This team doesn't have the intelligence or capacity of targeting a competition and expecting to play in a good in that one. Danny says Bajcetic season. I'm expecting him to be very, very involved tomorrow. What do you think, guys? That's Dave Hendrick says sparing Bajcetic, Milner midfield 3. Limping Monkey says we need to keep winning, so beat them to install confidence. Look at the differences in opinions and views. Anything other than the under 18s is ridiculous. Play all the bad players, same woeful starting lads that played versus Forest and Leeds. Prioritize the final 2 league games before the World Cup and try to get 6 points out of 6 to steady that position. We can be much stronger to face who we face in the round of 16 with the window coming around. And then I won't go through all of them. 3.9 million on the line. Klopp will play the strongest lineup because it's important to him. Mo, is that a significant factor? Should that be a significant factor if the fact that it's worth 3.9, each group game is worth 3.9 million? Should that be a factor in this situation? What do you think? Looking from generally the outside, you're not a Liverpool fan, but you know the struggles and woes we're having in the Premier League. And you also know that what we can do in the Champions League. Because let's not forget, guys, this is the key and important part. We are woeful at the moment. We are embarrassing at the moment. But the group games, the Champions League restarts when? February. By February, we don't know what position everyone else is going to be and what position we're going to be. If we have Luis Diaz, Diogo Jota, Ibrahima Konate, Joel Matip, these guys back and firing and fit, we know what Liverpool can do in the Champions League, right, Mo? So do you think should we care about finishing first?
You can try, But Napoli's second team is probably at the moment better than your first team at the moment in form. Napoli, I'm going to tell you later about Napoli, but let me just talk about Liverpool. Mick was absolutely right. And one of the guys in the comments in your tweet saying that it's the habit of losing. You cannot lose 3 games on the bounce. Can you imagine the squad going to the last 2 games in the Premier League, losing 3 games on the bounce? 2 of them against relegation zone team. That never happened. I've never seen Liverpool, probably in the last 15 years, lose back-to-back games against 2 teams in the relegation zone in the bottom 3.
Before you carry on, just one thing I want to butt in with, and I don't know if Mick agrees, but my feeling on this, guys, is, right, and you tell me if you disagree or agree. My feeling is, guys, and I'm a Liverpool fan, please tell me what the wins against Ajax and Rangers done for our momentum. What did they do? After Ajax, we went and lost to Leeds. After Rangers, we went and lost to Forest. To me, there's no such thing with momentum in this team because we haven't got the players at the moment to fuel that momentum. For me, it's a physical power fatigue thing. And therefore, for me, it's imperative we rest our key players and keep them reserve their power as much as we can, because Spurs have got a horrible game tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Is it Wednesday they play?
It is the same day. No. It's the same day as you.
Same day. They've got a horrible game away to Marseille, where he's got no choice but to play his strongest team. For me, as much as the romance of a 4-0 is getting in people's head spaces and the Barcelona stories coming back, that was a total different scenario. We don't need to. I'm still confident we can, come February, beat anyone over 2 legs. I'm serious when I say that. Mo, that's the big difference in my mindset. I know what you're saying, 3 defeats in a row, but what is there to say that even if we play a strong team, Napoli will turn us over?
Yeah, absolutely. But the problem is, I'm looking at your squad at the moment. I'm sorry. Up top, you literally have 3 players. Actually, Darwin Núñez is reported injured. It's kind of weird. This is so weird that I think he's injured. I'm not sure if he's going to play tomorrow. So you basically have 2 players. You have Firmino and Salah.
No. Where did you see that? Where did you read that?
It's on FootMob, I think. He's injured.
No. He's fine. He's fine.
That's what expected return. He's doubtful for tomorrow. That's what.
No. He's fine. He's fine.
So maybe I'm mistaken then.
When it comes to Liverpool, just ask Grizz Khan on Twitter.
Okay. So Grizz knows.
Ask him on Twitter.
No. Are you going to play Curtis? I think still Curtis Jones, the likes of Harvey Elliott can do a job. Carvalho, this is a chance to play, especially against the Napoli team that runs a lot. Now, Fabio Carvalho can come very good at this game. You don't have to play your regulars. You don't have to play your Thiagos, the Fabini. Maybe rest them. Maybe give them a chance. Chamberlain is fit again. Give him a chance. Maybe he will show up. No, what I'm saying is that instead of
registered.
He's not registered. Oh my God.
Not registered.
Another mistake then.
Well, the medical people said he won't be back until possibly the last game of the group game, which they were kind of right, because he's only come back to fitness recently, hasn't he, Mick?
Yeah.
And I guess they thought it's not worth putting him in the squad now. We'll just assess it again in January. These are the kind of things, Mick, that are frustrating now, aren't they? Because we could have absolutely done, like Mo says, with an Oxlade-Chamberlain, Naby Keita, just getting out there and having some minutes, right?
Yeah, I think so. And I think the way you've put that, it's like, it makes me think, is Klopp gonna just change it up? But just looking at his comments earlier in the press conference, he said we cannot take risks, not a game for massive rotation. But I agree what you said. We're not a team that you can go, right, you've won 2 games, you're now going to go and win 10. We're not that team at the moment, because we haven't got the energy, we haven't got the personnel, and it just doesn't seem feasible at the moment in our current plight that we're in. But I just feel like we just need to. I just think he'll go as strong as we can, and I think it is risky, because if we're risking the likes of a injury to other players that we just don't need at the moment. But I just feel like we just need to keep pounding the drum. Unfortunately, I think that's the only way Liverpool know how to do things, and just see what happens. But Yeah, I think like there you can see Kanate's back. I think that's a massive thing. I think Gomez was good against City, wasn't he? But then there's been a few shaky ones following that, unfortunately.
Yeah, look, this is the situation we have following the press conference. He spoke and he said, as you said, he said one player who likely to come in, and I think is nailed on cert when we start picking our team, Mick, Ibrahima Konate. Usually, from what we know about press conferences, guys, that when the player who is assigned to do the press conference usually means he's starting as well. And that was young James Milner. So we know now there's young James Milner and Ibrahima Konate that we know are starting. We also can throw in Mohamed Salah in there because Mohamed Salah doesn't rest. He wants the Champions League record. I think he's 1 goal away, Mick, is he? Or is he level? In the
I think he's one off the Gerrard record.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Gerrard's on 41 and he's on 40. Or yeah, he's one behind anyway.
You guys know that low-key Mo Salah is the top scorer with Mbappe in this season.
Yeah.
Low-key. People just don't talk about it. People don't
Mo,
talk about
it's the only. These are the small things that we have to cling on this season, Mo. We have nothing else to cling on. We have to look at Darwin Núñez's starts and goals ratio and minutes per goal ratio. We have to look at Mohamed Salah having a stinker of a season, yet 7 goals and 5 assists already in 12, 13 games. We have to look at these. These are our small victories because, we know overall. So look, Jurgen Klopp said he added this will not be a game for massive rotation. And he said good chance of Konate playing. These are a couple of predictions from the lads at This Is Anfield. Always go and check out This Is Anfield. For me, the best Liverpool website out there. I personally don't think it's going to be anything like this, Mick, but I don't know what you're thinking. These are just a couple of the... I guess we can start looking at, Tsimikas... Fabinho's looked way off the pace. They're saying Tsimikas is another option. They've done two alternative sort of teams. I think this probably looks more likely than the other one. I don't know what you think. I think that one looks better to me. I just think 4-2-3-1 is a better option. But I think saw like Henderson wasn't spotted in training apparently, was he? So he's fine as well.
Is he?
Yeah, he's fine. Henderson wasn't in training, but he's been kept just relaxing. He's good. He's okay. Before people start panicking.
Because we got half an hour against Leeds, didn't he? So that gives him. He obviously didn't play as much, but I think Fabinho. As much as I keep saying with other players, we need to just keep playing them. It's one of those want to keep playing them till they start being good again. But I think Fabinho is at the point where he is just not the same man at the moment, and I think he just needs to be took out for a little bit to just figure out what's going on with him. But I think that second one you put up, I think that looked pretty good to me.
Well, we'll get onto that onto the Liverpool team, and we'll pick it. Me and you will pick it. I just want to get Mo's thoughts on the Napoli team. So Mo, this is what Napoli played on the weekend. We also know that they have an absolute vital game on the weekend. Do they play Saturday or Sunday, Mo?
They play Saturday against Atalanta.
And the second place team, Mo, Atalanta.
Atalanta are second now after Milan lost. So
give me your thoughts and ideas on the Napoli, because no way will they play the same team.
He's not going to play the same team. That the problem is he has only one injury, Rahmani, which is the starting center back instead of Juan Jesus. Everybody else is fit, but he has Ostigard, which is a great defender as well. He's going to come in next to Menji. The thing about it, Matias Oliveira, like if I tell you the second team of this Napoli team, Matias Oliveira on the left, he played half the games instead of Mario Rui, and both of them provide assists. The only place that they don't have a substitution for is Lorenzo on the side, Di Lorenzo on the side. Anguissa and Lobotka, Zelensky, they have Elmas outside, they have Deme outside, they have Tanguy Ndombele. He's in form. Believe it or not, Tanguy Ndombele plays football in a team that won 13 games in a row. This is how mad this Napoli team is. They have 2 players for every position. They can afford to play their second team and you won't see a drop. Hirving Lozano or Politano on the right. We know that Kvaratskhelia is going to start, right? Because Kvaratskhelia is young. He can play 2 games in a week. It is okay for him. Victor Osimhen, there is Simeone and there is Raspadori, and they can rotate. I don't think the lineup is going to look like this. I know every report is saying he's going to play his strongest squad, but I doubt it. I think actually he's going to play Simeone up top. He's going to play Politano on the side. Tanguy Ndombele is going to start. Lobotka is going to start. We know that because he dictates the game. In the back, there's going to be Ostigard. He's going to rotate 7 of the players you see on the screen right now, or 6 at least, which is ridiculously how deep this squad is. I can't hype this team enough. You can only beat what's in front of you. It's a Liverpool channel, yes. But for people that don't watch Serie A, if you watch this team, they blow teams away with ease. It's not only, and they go away to the Olimpico against Mourinho's Roma, and they deserve the win, and they win away at Roma. It is ridiculous how this team plays football. You're gonna see it at Anfield. I am hoping that we see a good game because I don't think that both teams are gonna overthink the game, because 3-0, as you guys said,
there's no need to. You're absolutely spot on. There's no need to. Pressure is off both teams, really. Yeah. I think 100% off Napoli, and as you say, and you're absolutely spot on. Napoli only play one way. They know how to play, express themselves. I agree with you in terms of the selection. Lozano, I don't think will start. I don't think Osimhen will start. I think Raspadori will start. I think Simeone will start instead of
Oliveira instead of Mario Rui on the left.
Oliveira will start. Yep. So. And I think the centre back that you mentioned will start.
Ostigard. He's a Norwegian called Ostigard.
He will start instead of Minjai, I think. Probably be held back for Atalanta. Yeah. Midfield, I'm not sure. And Ndombele will start.
Elmas might start. They have Elmas. Is a very good player as well.
So we've just literally named the like for like in every single position.
Yes.
I don't think they will care sort of in terms of what the Liverpool team is and how they're going to approach it. But from our point of view, Mick, from what we know about Jurgen Klopp, there's going to be a sense of pride, regardless of the situation and regardless of the actual idea of winning the group. I think it's going to be a bit of more of a pride, and this is Liverpool now you're coming to play. Even though we're not going to be picking our strongest 11, I think we will pretty much be fired up for this, right?
I hope so. I think Klopp mentioning like the Leeds goal like woke him up. I think that's hopefully gonna wake him up and in turn the rest of the team, because we can't keep performing like that. And I think there's only 4 games, isn't he, left until the World Cup. Obviously the last Champions League game, we've got 2 more Prem games. I think you're mute, Grizz.
Sorry.
Yeah, 4 games.
3 games.
4.
No, it's this one. It's
the
this
EFL
one.
Cup. You have an EFL Cup game.
Oh, we don't count that.
Yeah.
These are competitions that you can win this year.
I know, but we have plenty of those in the trophy cabinet in the past years. But sorry.
No, I was just saying, I'm just like, I'm getting to the point, like we were saying before we started, like going live, that like we're getting asked the same questions, and you're like, I don't know what to say. I'm saying the same thing. What's going wrong? I don't know. How can we fix it? I don't know. We're playing teams we should be beating, and the teams that we probably should be losing against, the likes of a Man City, were just unbelievable. We go and beat them, and you're just like, there's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just uncontrollable chaos, and I think that's
it's uncontrollable. Away to Ajax, I wasn't expecting a 3-0 victory, and against Man City, I was absolutely not expecting what I thought turned out to be a comprehensive victory. It's wild. It's actually mad watching us play. We have zero control in the games because of the formation he's employed, because he hasn't had enough time to coach it. It's absolutely crazy. We've actually played 3 formations in the opening 12 games. 3 different significant formations. We started off with a 4-3-3, then we went to the 4-2-4 or 4-4-2. Now we're playing a diamond 4-4-2. God knows what we're going to do tomorrow. I don't think we're going to persist with a diamond tomorrow. In fact, tomorrow's a game that I think we should persist with the diamond, Mo, because Napoli's strength is all about the midfield. I said it on the previous show to Leeds. We shouldn't play against Leeds with a diamond. We should go back to possibly trying to play the 4-2-4 or 4-3-3 because Leeds are very weak on the flanks, especially in the fullback area. It's the total opposite of Napoli. Napoli will have runners through that middle. Zielinski if he plays, Dembele if he plays, Deme if he plays, Elmas if he plays. All these guys are going to be cramped up in the middle. I think we should go with the diamond tomorrow. It's confused. I don't know. What do you think?
You're absolutely correct. I know that they're gonna. I promise you. Someone asked in the comments, are they gonna play counter attack? Yes, Napoli are gonna play on that Liverpool line counter attack. It's very obvious. They're gonna go to Anfield and they're gonna try to isolate your defenders with Kvaratskhelia and Osimhen, Politano. They're gonna try to isolate your defenders, even if Simone or Raspadori. All of these guys are quick. They're very quick, and you know that the runners, Zielinski from the midfield, he runs behind the midfield. You need more guys in the midfield to prevent that counter attack, to stop this, to intercept the ball before it goes behind the midfield. I think this is the best opportunity for Jurgen Klopp to implement this plan, the diamond, especially if for the next two games, because who does he have up front other than Salah and Nunes? Firmino behind them.
Firmino is so tired. Yeah. Guys, Firmino is so tired.
But the only positive, Grizz, he's back to. I'm seeing he's back in his best, and the Brazilian coach talked about he might pick him to the World Cup as well over Jesus.
That's the thing, isn't it? If our players play well, then the national coaches are going to pick them. I was hoping there's no chance Firmino, Fabinho, Trent, Henderson start for their national teams right now. I was so happy, but you're right. The form of Fabinho is a curse. But it's a blessing in disguise, if you know what I mean. There's no chance he starts for Brazil. Yeah. Trent, there's no chance, even if he goes. I think, Mick, would you take Trent right now, Mick?
I mean, I don't care about England really, but I'd be amazed if he doesn't take him. Just as a squad player, if you need something off the bench to unlock a defense, or like even put him in midfield, like right of a midfield or central midfield or right back, put him wherever, put him on corners. He can get you an assist or something special from those areas. So I'd be amazed if he doesn't take him. But yeah,
it's the injury situation, isn't it? It's Kall Walker and Reece James being injured. I think Trent is likely to be selected on the basis of that only. I mean, on form, Kieran Trippier is the England right back right now, you guess.
Do you guys want Trent to go to the World Cup?
No, I don't.
Ideally, no.
Some people do. Some people think it will
because of the form. You keep the form going because you know that he's not going to start all the games, but minutes.
Any games.
He's not going to start any game. I think it's going to be Kieran Trippier, but I still think that I would, if Trent was my player, I would want him to go not as a starter, not every game, but I would want him to go off the bench because it's going to boost his confidence. It's going to be around. He's going to be around better players in form. The Bellinghams, these guys are better in form now. John Stones. I think this is going to elevate his confidence, especially if he doesn't get all the minutes. Just some minutes are going to be enough for him to elevate his confidence because we see a Trent now. He's scared now every time. I think his mind is somewhere else. And I think the World Cup is going to give him a little bit of confidence coming back to Liverpool.
Yeah, I get that way of thinking as well. I just want him to have 6 weeks of just pure feet up. Honestly, I agree with you. I think something's up. There is something up. I have no doubt about it. This is a young guy who couldn't have fallen off physically as he has. I get it. You have patches. And I've been the biggest defender of Trent Alexander-Arnold. But I don't know, Mick, I can't put my finger on it. It is all speculation and becoming body language experts all of a sudden and all of that business. But something doesn't seem right with this kid. And someone on the RedFellas show last night in the comments made something, and it all made us stand up and prick our ears up and think, oh shit. Someone said the worst thing that could happen to Trent right now is if he falls into the Dele Alli and his career sort of fizzles out like Dele Alli's did. Do you know when there was a period of where Dele Alli looked zombified? I'm seeing that with Trent.
I mean, that's the major worst case scenario, isn't it? Hopefully not.
Worst case scenario, yeah.
Hopefully, and just quickly, like I just saw a comment from in the chat from Pranov, and he says Trent going and not playing in the squad will have an adverse effect, and I agree with that, to be honest. I think him going and just these, and Southgate came out saying like he's Trippier's ahead of him, so he's only going to be playing them like 10-minute end of games. I think that has an adverse effect. I think I agree. I think it might not help him. I think him getting back and just training at Liverpool will have a better impact. But just in terms of his form, I don't know. I've no idea he's been in the team for a long time. But I think
Danny's saying I'm being over dramatic. I probably am.
Yeah, but you're scared for one of your best assets. You're scared for one of your best assets.
I was just going to say, I'm probably being over dramatic, but it shows how much I care about this kid and the talent that he's got at his disposal. And he doesn't look arsed at the moment, Danny. Danny, you can't tell me Trent looks arsed right now.
I think if it was if the rest of the team was doing well and Trent was just like wasn't there, it'd be more of a bigger concern for me. But I just feel like if everyone's just not there at the minute, I just feel like as a team, as a collective, that we're just not there. And I don't know what the answer is anymore. I always, every time we do a preview, it's like, oh, what can we do to fix it? Or like, well, if we do this, it might be better. We're at Anfield, that'll fix it. And to prove the Leeds game, we got beat at Anfield and lost that.
Me and you, and we speak every day and ask these questions to each other, and we smash each other's heads, argue, fight, kiss and make up, whatever. Mo, from the outside, looking in, from what you've seen, and try to be as unbiased as possible, because I know you're on Never a Foul. Make sure, guys, you go check out Never a Foul. Mo's a prominent member of Never a Foul. And I know Never a Foul is a generic football channel in terms of so many different opinions from different clubs. And sometimes it can sort of skew someone's opinion on a club because you're hearing so much banter or whatever. But on a serious level, on a football analytical point of view, looking from the outside inwards, how do you see the current Liverpool scenario, and what do you think the issue is? And do you see us coming out of this slump, bad form or whatever?
The people want to believe that Liverpool are not going to come out of this because it provides more views. You know what I mean? It's more drama. People want to believe that. I actually don't think, like, I'm watching Mo Salah. This guy just needs couple of good games and he's back to his best. The problem with Darwin Núñez is that I'm not convinced that he has anything to play for Liverpool, especially with the wide players you have. I'm talking tactically. When you have the likes of Luis Diaz, Diego Jota, and you have the likes of Mo Salah, you'll need a false nine. You'll need someone that provides for these guys because these guys are naturally goal scorers. Darwin Núñez is a number 9. He will need some people to provide for him. I see you coming out of it. However, you will need a little bit of, your squad is not deep enough. You are hit with injuries, big ones, like the Naby Keita ones. Like Chamberlain was supposed to be okay, and then he's injured for every year now for like most of the year. Your defense, Matip, Konate injured. Trent dip in form, no coverage. Gomez came in, played okay, and then his form dropped. But I see you coming out because of the reset button that is going to look like, oh, the World Cup is here. We need to reset. Now, these players, you told me that comes February, with 1 or 2 signings, you can beat anyone. I believe that. Now, is there a recovery for the league? And I asked earlier, is this season savable for Liverpool? Yes. You remember the season when you dropped, when Van Dijk got injured? Alisson scored a goal for you to make top 4. What happened the season after? You got 90+ points. You reached Champions League final. It's as simple as that. right? Or you reach a semi-final. So for me, Liverpool, the revival is gonna happen. People has to believe that. From outside, I'm looking at, I'm like, it's only about 2-3 players coming in, and that's not you. You spent only 80 million or something this summer. You still have 100 million. You can. It doesn't have to be Bellingham, by the way. It can be the likes of a good scouting. Paulinia, you remember Paulinia that plays for Fulham? A great scouting report from Fulham brought this guy in. Vitinha that went to Paris Saint-Germain, he was not expensive. Someone like this can revive your midfield, that can give you the energy that is needed for Trent to shine again, for Robertson to shine again. That's what you need. I'm not talking about the Barellas. These are the Bellingham. These are the 100 million. I'm talking about someone that will come today and give you the energy for your midfield to start running again. That's what you need. But Jurgen Klopp, he has it. Listen, every time without Jurgen Klopp, he is good at building a system. He just needs the tools. And the tools are in the market. So go out, get these tools. And it doesn't have to be, oh, like Chelsea, 9 players. It's only 2-3 players because you already have superstars.
There you go, people. It's always good. Yeah, no, I mean, but it's true, Mick. It's always good to get, because look, what happens? We speak about Liverpool on a daily basis and nightly, daily and nightly basis. And sometimes we can be accused of just being in a bubble and not seeing outside of this bubble. Rose-tinted glasses, call it what you want. And sometimes it's good to get someone who's totally neutral. And Mo is. I've only known Mo a few months, but I've got to know him very well. And I know how he speaks. He speaks neutrally. And he watches the most amount of football I've ever seen. Like sometimes he puts up a picture of his setup and he's got like 7-8 screens fucking going on. He's a mentalist when it comes to football, right? Addiction. But this is it. And he's given an appraisal of Liverpool, Mick, and I don't disagree with that. It's really shitty at the moment. Really shitty. It's absolutely Jurgen Klopp's fault. It's absolutely FSG's fault. It's absolutely recruitment team's fault. And it's absolutely the players' fault. There's no point singling out one aspect because we win as a collective and we lose or draw as a collective. Every time we won every trophy. People forget the rise of this Liverpool team in the 5 years. In 2016, the team started, if you want to really count 2016, because he came in November, right? Or something like that. But in the 6 years he's been here, we've won every single trophy that there is to win. And the reason why he's done that is because everything has been in sync. The recruitment, the dinner lady, the hygiene, the throwing coach, the corner taker, set piece tactician, everything. And we praised it till the cows came home. Oh, we've got the best recruitment. Oh, we've got the best left back. Oh, we've got the best dinner lady. Oh, we've got the best nutritionist. Now suddenly, when shit hits the fan, we've got the worst this. We've got the worst that. It's his fault. It's her fault. It doesn't work like that, does it, Mick? You can't be hypocritical and say, when you win, it's X's fault. And when you lose, it's Y's fault.
Yeah, and that's just unfortunately the age that we're in with social media and stuff. There's no in between. It's either really amazing or it's the worst thing on the earth, which is something that we have to just unfortunately just accept and just be like, that's what, especially rival fans, and there's Liverpool fans on social media and stuff that kind of buy into that way. But I think they're lured to thinking like that because they read that on social media too much, and then they're spouting the same stuff, and you're just like. And then you kind of read it over and over, and you're like, "Actually, is it true?" And then you're kind of reading it into this shit. But you're like, "Yeah, I think it's because we've set a platform. So, like you said, we've came from October 2015, whatever, when Klopp came in. We've rose to a level, and those levels are just exceptional every time, every game. Just like I said, taking every game as it comes, but just battering teams. If there's any bad results in terms of maybe like a first half result where we're 1-0 down, we'd always claw it back and get to 2-1, and we'd always get back in the game. So we'd raised our levels to such a state that now that we're going through something like this, the drop off it feels larger because we're used to those really exceptional levels. It's like we're talking about players that we expect to turn up every week and just be amazing, like Van Dijk. Like Trent, just Robertson, just turned up for years and years on end, just putting 8s and 9s out of 10s in every week. And it's only now that we're looking at them and they're putting in 6s and 7s, and it only takes 1 or 2 of your world-class players to be doing that on a consistent basis, and that's when the dominoes start to trickle and start to fall down. And the Jurgen Klopp team's built on cohesion and togetherness and fighting spirit, all those other key buzzwords, stuff like that. But we're missing with the opposite of those this season, unfortunately, and that's kind of where it all feeds into this big cauldron of a mess that we're in at the moment.
I want to ask you something, Grizz. I know that you want to. I'm sorry. I was just gonna say something that is kind of, and I want to get your guys' opinion, and I'm gonna go through some comments. It's either FSG get Jurgen Klopp some tools or they let him go. There is no in between. I'm sorry. It looks like these players need a little bit of a competition, some of them. Van Dijk is not old. People think 31 years old as a central defender. Ramos peaked at 30 years old. Sergio Ramos peaked at 30 years old. Look at Thiago Silva at PSG. Robertson is not old. Trent is not old. Harvey Elliott is a kid. Mo Salah is at his peak. He's 30 years old. It is now that you need the supporting cast for these guys. I think if FSG are not going to get the players that this guy wants, they have to let him go, because you know that coach is only good as the players he gets, and he needs competition. He needs better players in some positions, and I think this is the only solution for this.
They have to get him the players. There's absolutely no doubt. You're spot on with that. A coach is only as good as his tools. But there's some coaches like Klopp that go way beyond having a great tool. He hasn't had amazing, brand new, latest tools at his disposal, and look what he's achieved. So this guy, there's certain coaches in world football, and this guy is one of them. But saying that, I agree with you. You can never not have enough tools, and this is what he needs now. He doesn't, and the thing is, Melissa Reddy, Liverpool fans in the chat will know Melissa Reddy is a very good ex-Liverpool based journalist. She actually works for who now, Mick? I think she works for Sky.
Yeah,
isn't it Sky Sports? She's actually works for Sky Sports now, and she's done a brilliant thread on Twitter. I don't want to go through it now, but where she speaks about sort of the collective issues, and she said something that I've been saying on my shows, on my channel, again and again and again. And she summed it up. She said, Jurgen Klopp isn't the shy, retreating coach that just sits there and just gets on with it. He has to be more assertive with the owners, and he has to make some hard calls, which he's not done. And therefore you have to scrutinize the coach as well. And if, like you said, Mo, if the owners are not backing him, then he needs to speak on it. He absolutely needs to speak on it, because there's no point. There's no point being a yes man for these people then, because you're not utilizing their powers, their peaks, the team, or yours. So if he's going to be a yes man, then maybe he should go, Mo. Have you ever thought about it from that side? If he's going to be a yes man to an establishment, and by the way, I don't think he is. I'm saying, because otherwise you need to be more assertive. Conte, we know everywhere he goes, he's assertive.
Do you know what he did with Inter, Grizz? You remember that? He came out and said, these guys, they don't want this club to succeed. He left. Next month, what happened? They sold Lukaku, they sold Hakimi, and now they're putting our best players on the market. He knew it. And he spoke up and he told them, I'm not staying at this project. You do want this project to succeed. And you're only doing it as a business. I think
this is my point. Look, Jurgen Klopp is a total different character, personality to Mourinho, Conte, Tuchel even. He's just not like that. He's not that way inclined. He doesn't make noise. He doesn't make controversy. He doesn't go against the board and want to sort of make splits. What's the word? Siege mentality between the owners and him. He doesn't do that. Even our very own Rafa done that, didn't he, Mick? When he was here. He's not that kind of guy. But we want to see elements We want to see elements of that, because there will come a point. No, there has come a point now. Like you said, Mo, we need to see investment. And now the truth, or not the truth, but now things will be apparent. Is it Jurgen Klopp or is it FSG that are not making these calls? Because me, you, and millions of Liverpool fans all around the world know we need investment starting from January. I believe we will get it, but the summer will be the absolute final litmus test. I know we keep saying it every year, Mick, but I think even the most ardent, non-controversial Reds will say this is the ultimate litmus test of the investment from FSG.
Yeah, I think when you read stuff on Twitter, like people saying, "Oh, we should have strengthened after X year, should have strengthened after this year," and now that you look back on it, you do kind of see the pieces of what, and they do make a point like we should have maybe bought like one player after we won the league, and then we would have had like a younger player, and like Mo said, not even like a star, just someone that a really talented player. We know our scouting system's up there is one of the best.
Another genie.
Exactly, just someone like that, just to blood them in and get them used to the system. And we know Klopp tends to like to bring players in like that and give them a time on the training field to get used to things and then bring them in. But we've had to recently, we're buying players that come straight into the team because we just need that presence, and we need star quality instantly, and especially at this moment in time. But yeah, I think those incremental transfers that we could have done over the years, and I agree with what people are saying in the comments, like there's Klopp's at fault as well, because he is too loyal to certain players. He's held on to them for a bit too long. The likes of, I mean, people saying like Oxlade-Chamberlain and Keita should have went. Yeah, I think considering how this season's gone injury wise, like I think Keita's been out for how long, like 3 months, is it? Keita's been out for, missed like 18 games or something like that. So it's been 17, 18 games. He's missed a lot of footy, and but then I think like Klopp said that I don't know if it was the start of the season or it was near the start of the season. He was like, he listed basically all our midfielders, and he was like, what else can I buy that I don't already have? And I think on paper you go, actually that's true, but then it's only when you break those down into, actually, wait there, Harvey Elliott's a kid, Curtis Jones is a kid, Oxlade-Chamberlain's can barely get out of bed without hurting himself, Keita's the same. There's too many question mark over those Milner's, Henderson, players that are coming to the end of it, like a end of a cycle. Henderson should, whether he starts, you shouldn't be starting every week for Liverpool. That's just the way it is. That's the way we need to be ruthless. I think I saw a thing on Twitter. Just sorry to ramble on, like Pep talking to Rio Ferdinand about like being ruthless and like saying, "Oh, you win, you change, you at least change a few bits, you get new players in just to keep that refresh up." And I think it's something we haven't done. And I think last year we were just incredibly lucky with injuries when we were on an incredible level. And I think Klopp's just thought, "Oh, we can do it again," because he trusts the players and he trusts the bunch of players that much that maybe he's a little bit blinded by that. He's like, "Well, we did it last year. We can just go again. We've lost Mane. We brought in Nunez, so we can."
I think that's you exactly. Look, sometimes it's not as complicated as we like to make it out. Sometimes it's simple as that, Mick. And I totally agree with you, mate. I absolutely think that's what he thought. And you can call it naive, hindsight, etc. No problem. He's made a mistake. He kind of admitted it in the press conference, didn't he? 2 weeks before the season ends, the window ended. Mo, I don't know if you're aware. Jurgen Klopp, 2 weeks before the window, he said, "I made a mistake. I misjudged it," and that's fine. He's human. He made an error of judgment. It happens. People think Klopp he can't make mistakes. He won't make mistakes. He's human. He made a mistake.
Costly mistake.
He made an error of judgment. But now what we want to see is how he's going to fix that. And if he continues, then you're right, guys. If he continues not accepting his mistakes, and what you said, Mo, about him, and the earlier part when you said he has to drop his ego and stubbornness, because every great coach has ego. Every great coach has stubbornness. But you keep learning. And if Jurgen Klopp hasn't learned from the last 6 months to whatever, then we'll be in trouble. But I think he will learn. I think FSG will learn, because what have they shown us, Mick? Every time they make a mistake, they do go out and rectify it. And this has been a horror show. The recruitment in the last 6 to 12 months, 3 windows, you could say, has been a horror show. Let's call a spade a spade. But anyway, guys, there's over 200 of you guys in here. I don't think we've reached 100 likes, which is quite embarrassing ratio. I wanted to ask you, Mo, if things stand as they are, in terms of we finish second, Napoli win the group, these are some of the options. Can you please tell us who we should be avoiding and how it looks? So currently now, guys, if Napoli win the group, who would be our options? Shall we assume in Group B? Who shall we assume in Group B wins that group, Mo?
Porto.
Really?
Yep.
Porto win that group. That means our option would be Porto.
Bayern. Paris Saint-Germain.
This group?
I think it's gonna be Spurs. I think they're gonna get a draw or win. I don't know like how, but I think they're just gonna do it.
We can't face Spurs. Can we face Spurs next
No,
round?
you can't. You cannot. So your option, you cannot face Spurs. You cannot face an English team in the round of 16. You can't.
So would we face the second place team, or would
no? You have to. You can't play the second. You have to play a first. So your options as of now are.
So it would be Bayern, Porto,
or go down,
Madrid,
Real Madrid, and then PSG. You only.
How do you fancy them apples, Mick?
You only want to play Porto, to be honest.
So Bayern, PSG, Real Madrid, Porto. As of now, if like we forecast, things stay the same.
Yeah. Listen, let's imagine. Okay, you know what? In 4 months, everything can be different, right? We know that, right? PSG might drop. Bayern Munich might drop. Real Madrid might not be the same. Who knows? Because this World Cup, you might. I don't wish injuries to any player, but I'm just saying, Vinicius might come back injured. Benzema might come back injured.
World Cup.
Mane might come back injured, and there's no stop. You just come back. You play a couple of games. So we don't know. But as of now, and we only talk about now, if Liverpool face any of these teams, and even Porto at the moment, you might be not the favorite to win the game. At the moment.
At the moment, you're absolutely spot on.
Even Porto.
But I'll repeat. Come February, when these things start again, you put Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp, and Anfield in the equation. Mo, I think you will admit, still, nobody will want to face Liverpool over 2 legs.
I'll tell you the other.
If you look at the alternative,
I'm telling you the other point. If you ask PSG, Bayern, or Porto or Real Madrid, they will tell you we want to avoid Liverpool as a second. They 100%. Would tell you they want to avoid Liverpool. They would tell you we want the other teams. They would tell you I don't want to face Liverpool. Liverpool with Inter are the strongest seconds as of now, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
And even at Liverpool at this moment, you don't want to face Liverpool in a 2-legged game. You don't want to. You go to Anfield, and we saw that.
It doesn't matter what the score is.
Listen, we saw how Liverpool set up against City at Anfield. 1-0. You go away, you can draw, you're gone through. It is as simple as that. But looking at the current form, Liverpool wouldn't want to face any of these teams. It needs a lot of fixing in January. And also, it's not only about like recruitment and stuff. It's about, are these players that going to come back in January in form? Especially that festive area is so packed for you. I think you play the 26th, you play the 30th, and you play the 1st, right? You play 3 games in about like a week. That's not going to be easy on your players.
But I keep saying it. We're one of the few teams in world football that are used to this and have been doing this for the last 3-4 seasons. We're used to playing this. Mick, let's try to pick a team. Let's go. We know Alisson, so I don't need to pick I've picked this formation just for the sake of it. So what are you saying for right back even?
Yeah, I think he goes Trent, yeah. Yeah,
So let me ask you something. Okay, I'm gonna throw this out there. Is Gomez not in contention for right back, especially with this Napoli going forward? Because Napoli's attack is mostly from the left side. It's either Kvaratskhelia or Raspadori. Would you not, if you're the coach, would you not think I want to play a little bit of a more defensive right back at this side, even though Gomez made the mistake?
I would, but I don't think Klopp will.
Yeah, same.
But he did. Didn't he play Gomez against Ajax?
No.
If I remember one game I was watching Liverpool one game, and then you had Gomez. Back-to-back games he started at right back.
No, when he was injured.
When Trent was injured.
Yeah, when he was injured. But he's been on the bench.
Trent started against Ajax, just checked.
Yeah. Who's partnering Khanage for you, Mick, or for us? Let's try work this together.
Yeah, so it's Trent, Khanage, Van Dijk, and then it's either, it's whether you want to go Robbo or just put Tsimikas back in.
I think Simi, you know that.
Yeah, go Simi.
All right, Tsimikas lover, we know that, Grizz.
No, I'm a lover of Robbo, massive lover. But Tsimikas. Konate and who then? Gomez again, considering he's not going to play on the weekend? Or Virgil?
No, Virgil's going to play, man.
Yeah, I'd be surprised it's not Virgil. In fact, I'd be shocked if he went with Gomez instead.
I think
he's gonna shatter. He's gonna shatter Virgil if he puts him on the bench. He's gonna shatter his confidence.
I think this is gonna be Hendo.
Yeah.
Are we changing the formation? 4-2-3-1.
Yeah, I think either 4-4-2 or 4-2-3-1. I think that's probably more likely, isn't it? Yeah, Hendo and Thiago, isn't it?
Oh shit. Has to be right. Does it have to be?
I think so.
Okay.
Hold on. No Harvey Elliott?
Not in this setup. No, sorry, not in this 4-2.
Yeah, not in this 2, but this is what I think you might play 4-3-3. You don't think that Harvey Elliott would come in and play next to Thiago and Henderson, and he would start Carvalho on the left, Nunes and Salah again?
I think Carvalho starts.
Yeah, throw. He might go 4-3-3 and play Hendo as the 6 and Thiago left and Elliott right.
He might rest Firmino. Firmino got a lot of minutes in the last.
I think Firmino will be rested.
Yeah,
but then I don't know who plays here then.
But that's what Mick is saying. Hendo 6, Thiago left, Harvey. Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, it just depends. It's either that right position. It's Salah or Elliott. We've seen Elliott a lot more there this year. Salah's been a bit more central. Elliott's been doing that right hand side job. So it depends what he fancies. But that's
now I just picked that, guys, because I don't know. Will Nunes? I think Nunes will start.
Absolutely.
I think Nunes will start. So in that case, if Nunes starts, there's a change of formation, right?
Yeah, I think if you put Nunes where Jones is.
Do you think we go 4-3-3 tomorrow, Mick?
I think we keep saying this based on personnel and form of players. I think maybe he might.
I tell you why. Something's just come to me. Right? And then we can go. Right? And then we can go.
Carvalho left.
Yeah. Are you seeing it now?
Yeah.
And then we can go. Does this make more sense?
But Thiago never plays on the right side of the midfield.
No.
Yeah. Thiago's on the left.
Yeah. Thiago will be on the left.
So would you play Thiago Jones ahead of Elliott then on the right?
Just Jones is fresh, hasn't played. Elliott's played too much. Just for that purpose. I think there's a shout personally for giving Bejitic a start. Experience. Throw him in there.
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah, because Fabinho needs to be took out. It's either if Hendo's fit. I'd love Bejitic to start. I really would, but I just feel like Klopp might not risk it because he mentioned about Ramsey today, and he said, he's not going to just throw him into a game like this. He might bring him on towards the end for like his first proper appearance. And I think Bajcetic probably comes under the same category, really, that he might come on for Hendo late on.
It's one of the worst games to bring him on up against. Like the way Mo described Napoli, even on top of what we already know, this Napoli is a super team right now. And this game could just be blitzed past Bajcetic. It could go two ways, can't it? You either learn or you think, what is this? Do you know what I mean? What is this?
Yeah, you want to make that I did to Harvey Elliott when he burned him. Like I think when he played against Inter in the Champions League, he started. He was the Inter players picked on him because he was the youngest. I remember that first half. You remember our players picked on him right away. He's the youngest guy, didn't play Champions
smallest guy.
Like right away. So you don't want to put a small guy that hasn't played before, especially against Napoli, who are now running riots. Like you don't want that.
Look, guys, we've tried our best. We went through about 3 formations. We've ended up with this one. It'll probably something completely different, but we've tried our best. Hope you guys have got a rough understanding of how we think the game will go tomorrow. That's the aim of these previews. You try to pros and cons of both teams, the injury situations of both teams, the mindset of the managers of the both teams. We're not saying that's going to be the formation before you guys start saying, oh my God, you guys said Carvalho is going to be. No, we're just suggesting this could be a setup. Mo, I want to thank you very much for coming and helping me out in the last minute. Thank you so much, my bro. I think we have a Eurostars back this weekend, so hopefully look forward to seeing you on there.
Yep. Thank you so much for the invite. I enjoy this so much, and I enjoy coming on your channel. It's absolute honor and a great talking to Mick. Nice to meet you, man. Hopefully we can do more work together.
Excellent. Mick, I'll see you in the WhatsApp group, and I'll tell you the real team. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. In the earliest hours of the morning. But guys, this has been the pre-match carnage for Liverpool versus Napoli. Under the lights, here we go again. This could be fun. This could be not so fun. Take care.